This week on Times Drive, the Ford Figo, the Volkswagen Polo, the Nissan Micra. 3 new compact hatches, 3 choices. We're making that decision for you while slaloming around in a parking lot. Engineers down in Nissan made sure that you won't find a single straight line inside this car. Go ahead, try to find one. I dare you. It's been 10 years since the launch of the venerable Alto, and now it's been refreshed with an all-new K-Series engine and dashboard. We tell you all. In DIY this week, all you need to know about the arcane art of tire rotation. And we tell you what life's like with a Rolls-Royce Ghost.
This is Times Drive. My name is Sharad. Now, the past couple of months has seen the launch of some really interesting cars, including the likes of the Nissan Micra, the Volkswagen Polo and the Ford Figo, making it a bit difficult as to which one you want to buy. So, the Times Drive team heads to the parking lot of the High Street Phoenix in Mumbai to help you make that decision.
This is the High Street Phoenix shopping mall in central Mumbai. Normally swarming with deal-crazed shoppers and mall rats out for a laugh, things are a little different once the cash registers are closed and shutters pulled down for the night. Imagine it, 8 floors of empty ramps, rows and rows of empty driveways, pillars to slalom around, and yeah, it isn't raining inside. So here's the plan. We've assembled 3 of the funkiest new hatchbacks to hit us in the past couple of months. We've got the conservative VW Polo, we've got the funky Ford Figo, and we've got the sweet little Nissan Micra. Now honestly, we couldn't think of a better place than to test these small cars. A small enclosed space. So yep, the parking lot it is. So Kailash gets the VW Polo, Kabir drives out in the Figo, and since I haven't driven it yet, I'm going to be driving the Micra. Let's get straight to it then. Which of these hatches should you be lusting after?
Now there's a reason why I chose the Polo, because I like my cars to feel solid, robust. And the best bit about this car is once you come inside, despite the dull design, it does feel like it's been put together in a state-of-the-art machinery somewhere in the world with one-armed robots and clean-shaven guys in white jackets.
And like most other cars in this category, you got a choice of petrol and diesel.
So you got 2 engine options to choose from. There's a 1.3-litre 3-cylinder petrol and a diesel engine with similar statistics. But here's the thing, since the Micra doesn't have a diesel, we decided that we're going to stick with the petrol one. Now this one, for instance, is a 1.3-litre engine, 3 cylinders, does about 74 bhp and 110 Newton meters of torque. But the redemption comes in form of a snappy gearbox. If you know how to work it, that is, you can scoot if you want to.
And because emblazoned across the bonnet and the boot of this car is the Volkswagen logo. They've got the handling spot on, the ride is also decent, as is the space in the back. But 6-footers are going to find it a bit of a squeeze.
But if you have a lot of tall friends, may I suggest you get yourself a Ford Figo. It's got acres more space than the Polo and beats the little German car in terms of value for money. For the money you spend on a mid-range Polo, you will be able to get yourself a fully loaded Figo. and that has a fair bit of kit. CD player with USB, a couple of airbags, and, did I mention, blue teeth. Again, because of the small little government regulated engine, if you're looking for spills and thrills from the Figo, you're gonna have to keep looking. The 1.2 litre 75 horsepower engine is good for the average city commute, but give it the juice and it runs out of breath like a fatty on a treadmill.
I guess I didn't know.
There are a few more issues. For starters, the build quality, though a massive improvement over Ford's Ford, still isn't at par with the best in class. And the driving dynamics, well, I'd say they're a bit soft.
And that's why if you want a small car which is well built, zippy around town and isn't terrified of the highway, you should probably get yourself this, the Nissan Micra.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, this right here is the newest car to compete in the hay. Let's buy the family a car rupee.
One thing I'll say for it, boring it is not. It has a weird look about it, like a startled toad. In fact, here's what I think. It's so ugly that it looks cute, like a baby hippo.
Press trigger, me no press people button.
And here's the kicker, you've got kit in here that you'll only find in cars 3 times the price. For instance, push button start, heck, even the base model has got driver's airbags. Now the insides feel really nice too. The engineers down at Nissan made sure that you won't find a single straight line inside this car. Go ahead, try to find one. I dare you.
And then there's more gadgetry inside. Climate control, top-notch CD player, remote boot release. I mean, for a small car, it really has the works.
And then there's the final ace card. Now the Micra 2 does have a small little 1.2 litre petrol engine that's good for 75 bhp and about 104 Newton meters of torque. But here's where things get interesting. Now this Nissan is almost 100 kilos lighter than the Polo, which means that this little bug-eyed hatch is gonna zip away quicker from standstill than either the Ford or the VW.
Drive the Micra about and it gets more fun.
Now from the tires squealing in the background, I can tell that the guys are having a lot of fun. It's not very difficult in a place like this, but we have a job to do. We have to help you, the viewer, decide which one of these cars you should buy. In a minute, let me reel the guys in.
Okay, we've spent the entire night having an assload of fun slaloming around these pillars, but now to the business at hand. Kabir, you've been driving the Polo. Progress report.
This thing is by far the best value for money amongst all these cars that we have assembled here. Loaded to the gills, it's reasonably okay to drive in town, and it's got just about enough grunt for that. And you can buy this at 140 dealers across this country. Not something those two cars can boast of. On the flip side, this isn't really well built. I mean, the Polo is bulletproof, the Micra is very well built as well. And I don't like the way this thing rides. It's jittery to say the least.
Okay, so that was the Figo. Kailash, you've been driving the Polo all night.
Now, there's no denying the fact what you get with this car is bomb-proof German engineering. It's put very well together. I mean, it feels like a tank once you sit inside. It's safe, it's sturdy, and if you could just up the budget a bit, I mean, I think it's quite a sensible buy. But on the flip side, it's just about average when you take it out on the highway. I mean, it runs out of steam, it pants, it doesn't have that blistering hot hatch performance. I mean, if they could put in that thing, I mean, I think it would be great.
Okay, now let's just put this into perspective. You said this car is underpowered. What, in your opinion, would be a better powered car, like compared to, say, an older petrol like the Maruti Swift?
See, there is a substantial dip in terms of pricing, I guess. So, I mean, if you're getting a better, I mean, that drives well. It's got fair enough plastics, and you know, for your city and your highway, it's pretty much, it does the job basically. So I guess that is a it's a good option. I mean, if you want to buy one, and if you don't mind buying an old car, I think you can go back to this one.
And now the final car in this little competition of ours, the Nissan Micra. Now I've been driving it all night, and in a category filled with odd-looking cars, this car is the oddest of them all, and it's bound to get your attention, at least in the beginning. It's fully loaded, it's got push-button, start, stop, keyless entry, and it begins from 3.98 to 5.34. Kabir, what about the Ford? What about prices for the Ford?
This jewel in my book is the best price hatch in the market today. It starts at about 3,50,000 rupees. Top-end variant with Bluetooth and the works is 4,64,000 rupees. And you have to consider this is far more spacious than any of those two around.
Okay, so that was the Figo. Kailash, what about the Polo?
No, I completely agree. You guys have got cars that are quite aggressively priced. I mean, this is a bit high in that sense. It starts from 4.98, goes all the way up to 6.5. But I think considering that you get a German car, I still find it a reasonable deal.
Now we've seen the pros and cons of both the Figo, the Polo and the Micra, and where Nissan have really lucked out is that the Micra came in last. So they knew exactly what to do. They've priced this car really aggressively. Now if there's one concern that we have for the Micra, it's this. This car has got only 20 odd dealers across the country. But if you can find one, we'd say go out and buy it.
So from the launch of the Maruti Alto to rip-roaring auto sales, here's all the news from Planet Auto.
We start the wrap this week with news from India's largest selling car, the Alto. It's been chugging along, but Maruti have now decided to drag the car into the new millennium with a comprehensive refresh, complete with a new engine, tweaks to the gearbox and of course, new styling. The car is now powered by Maruti's 1-litre K-Series engine, putting out 69 brake horsepower, up from the older car's 48. Changes to the styling include a new dash and steering wheel on the inside and a new tailgate as well as new headlamps on the outside. Prices start at 3.19 lakhs in Mumbai. Moving on, July has been yet another bumper month for car makers in India, as far as sales are concerned at least. Maruti Suzuki sold 1,857,000 units in July 2010, an increase of 29% over the figure of 78,074 cars in July 2009. The car maker sold 90,114 cars in the domestic market and exported 10,743 cars last month. Hyundai Motor India Limited, the country's second largest car manufacturer, continued to be on the growth trajectory with domestic sales growing by 24.2% over the same month last year. General Motors sold 7,124 cars in India in July 2010, registering an impressive growth of 45% in sales compared to July 2009. Tata Motors recorded a more impressive 62% year-on-year jump in sales on the back of increased dispatches of the Nano. Fourth largest player Mahindra & Mahindra also reported a 20% rise in sales in July. July 2010 saw luxury car maker Mercedes-Benz clock the highest ever monthly car sales in India ever. The German car maker sold 521 cars.
Coming up after the break, our take on the all-new Maruti Suzuki Alto.
The earlier Alto was a fun car. I mean, on the city streets, it was much like an exuberant puppy dog. It would run, it would sprint, it was nimble, it was agile.
And we tell you what life's like with the Rolls-Royce Ghost.
In DIY this week, Kabir Mahajan tells you about the arcane art of tire rotation. Pay attention now, it's complicated.
From the most mundane hatchback to the most exotic sports car, tires are what keep our cars rolling. Yet, most owners pay little or no attention to their maintenance or in fact to their wear and tear. Until one day, in a rude shock, it hits as a puncture or even worse, as a tire blast. Now we don't want that happening to you. So here's a simple list of how to get smooth sailing. Once every month, turn the steering to full lock and inspect for general wear and tear. Most tubeless radials fitted to cars these days last a good 40,000 kilometers before they need to be replaced. It is also advisable to rotate your tires every 6 months. For standard tires both in front and rear wheel drive cars, interchanges should be diagonal first and parallel the next time. This ensures even wearing and longer tire life. However, for exotic performance cars with directional tires, changes should be on the same side.
But here's the simplest trick. Every time you tank up, get your tire pressures checked according to the maker's recommendations. They can be found on the underside of the front door.
Also, once every 3 months, check for groove thickness of the tire and for any abrupt wear patterns in the sidewall of the tires.
These 3 precautions will ensure that your tires are fit and fighting every day of their lives for the treachery and abuse that our roads throw at them, and that you aren't stranded once ever so often.
Since its launch in 2000, the Alto has been Maruti's workhorse, even in fact becoming the highest selling car on Indian roads. Now, Maruti has decided to give it a makeover and a new K-Series engine. Kailash Menon was there to drive it.
This is the Maruti Suzuki Alto. It's compact, cheap, and well, a not so cheerful looking city car. But since 2004, it has been the undisputed champ in the budget hatch brawl. And now Maruti is upping its game by bolting in a 1-litre K10 engine into it.
The older Alto was all about practicality. It was all about transportation from point A to B. But the new Alto K10, it's not only practical, reliable and frugal, but it's potent too.
Yup, the new Alto has a 1-litre motor that dishes out 67 bhp and 90 Newton meters of torque. So that's a 20 bhp gain over the older Alto. Which means this city slicker is now a highway star too.
Now the K10 is a wallet-friendly car, and Maruti is claiming that it'll do about 20 kilometers to a litre of fuel. Now that is quite good for a small car, but the best bit is that they haven't muzzled the performance. They haven't sacrificed the performance for the sake of fuel efficiency. I mean, you match the throttle and this thing scoots up to a 100-kilometer mark in 13.3 seconds. Quite neat.
On the run, the Alto K10 munched the motorway without me having to downshift too much. And with 90 Newton meters of torque on tap, the track to Nandi Hills was also effortless. On the twisties though, the steering feels a bit vague and the rear end kicks out too often.
Now the earlier Alto was a fun car. I mean, on the city streets it was much like an exuberant puppy dog. It would run, it would sprint, it was nimble, it was agile. But on the highway it was lumpy and annoying. It was much like driving a fat rat squealing on top of its wheels. But the K10 is quite a stunner. I mean, it's got enough juice for your highway runs and tremendous torque for your city chores too.
On the inside, the 3-spoke steering wheel and the golf ball shifter lifted from the Swift look good, but the K10's interior are still far from perfect.
So they put a great engine, they've dolled up the car, which is all good and fine, but I'm guessing the folks at Maruti completely forgot about the interiors. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the place where you're going to spend the maximum amount of your time, but I'm sorry to disappoint you, the plastic quality is as cheap and as tacky as the previous one.
And then there are the subtle design tweaks.
Now these nifty numbers, the new headlamps, look quite nice, and Maruti calls them the eagle eyes. Fancy marketing terms if you ask me, but I gotta make a confession. I like the eagle eyes in its own silly way because it's making the otherwise docile looking Alto look a bit more shouty, a bit more aggressive, though in a cheeky cute way of course. From the sides it's pretty much the same, except for the fact that the length of the car has increased by 125 millimeters, and that is to accommodate the bigger 1-litre motor. So the bonnet is a bit stretched and it's completely done away with those puny 12-inch tires. Now what you get are meaty 13-inch tubeless radials. Now the car looks quite cool from the back also. The whole tailgate and the tail lamp, they seem to complement each other. There's a certain sense of curvature on the tail lamp which makes it look retro cool. But if you ask me honestly, the design changes are more subtle than radical. But as long as these subtle tweaks make the bland looking Alto look better, I think I shouldn't be cribbing, right?
So the K10 VXI comes with a price tag of 3,16,000 rupees, and I must say it's quite a potent price to package deal. But if you're still wondering, why should you buy one?
Well, it's got all the right qualities. I mean, it's fuel efficient, it's reliable, it's got a potent engine, and it looks fairly decent too. But the best bit, unlike the old Alto where the commute from point A to B was rather boring, with the new K10, the commute from point A to B is a blast.
Ever saw a hot motorcycle or a really cool car and wondered, Ooh, what it'd be like to own that beaut? Well, we wonder about it all the time. So here's living with a Rolls-Royce Ghost.
This is the Rolls-Royce Ghost, the baby Rolls. But it's still got a 6.5-litre V12 and a custom-built interior. We catch up with proud owner Jagdish Mansukani to find out what it's like to have one in the garage.
I thought this is a car, the new one is a Ghost. It looks like a, it's like a sports like. It's like one can drive also this car. And I love to drive that car, that's why it's like a Ghost and Rolls. It's a true luxury and true craftsmanship, I would say, which you can't find in the Mercedes or in BMW. That's always like a commercial vehicle nowadays. It's like a too many. But this is a limited production and it's having a real craftsmanship inside. Each and everything you can see, that's a real craftsmanship. Hardly I am using in the city because of the so much crowded and congestion on the roads, and somehow I don't feel comfortable, driving in the city. But yes, sometime I do drive in the city, but mostly in the night. Yes, that time you can let it put it like this. Then I love to drive that car. I have the good team with me. That my drivers, they look after the car, cleaning and everything. One boy is with me. He's looking after that cleaning and all that. And overall, I'm also doing a lot of times, I love to do it. So sometimes, during the night, if somebody is not there, so I just clean myself and then I'll take it. It's still not yet. Nobody is asked like this kind of question, once you are in the car, but people, they are staring. So people might be saying something, but really unable to hear. My, dream car was the Bentley, and still I would say that my dream car is the Bentley. It's still, I would like to purchase one Bentley Coupe. That's my, dream car I have to purchase.
That's it from us this week. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, you can always catch your favorite videos at timesnow.tv, or if that ain't enough, you can drop in for a chat at Facebook or on Twitter. Until next week, my petrosexuals, you drive it like you stole it.